I'm gonna just play with some things. I hadn't really planned on doing anything interactive, but since Charlie's decided that I can answer your dating questions, let's start with a few dating questions. Who has some? Anybody? I'm actually dating again, you know, for the first time since I probably did Writers with Drinks last time, so.
How long should you wait to have sex?
How long should you wait to have sex? Well, what is sex begin? Because, you know, just a caress can be, you know, the beginning of sex, so it could be immediate. You could start with the sex. Well, in San Francisco, I presume you start with the sex here. That's how this town works. I actually think, you know, it's pretty standard. This is an Etruscan thing. I don't know, is this based on entrails or something? Charlie can help me with this, but you know, the more vulnerable you are, the later, at least 2 days. Yeah.
What's your best first date story?
Best first date story? That's Anne-Marie. What's your name?
Liz.
Liz, okay. My best first date story? Oh God, I haven't had a lot of dates because I did a lot of lesbianic, like, I like you, we're in love. Dates that I ever get taken out on a date. I got married to somebody. No, we did have a date. What did we do? Oh God, I met my soon-to-be ex, my wife at the time is a phrase I'm practicing using. Wife at the time. My wife at the time at Burning Man. So original. But it was, because there were only 4 lesbians at Burning Man when I went. In 2002, that magical year. And I was like, fuck Burning Man, because everybody in the world I knew had gone for years. I produced, like, I'll date myself. Are there other internet people besides Charlie and Annalene and Tom and I in the room? No? Yeah? 3 or 4? Okay. I produced a channel for Burning Man that ran on software that people downloaded to show flash channels between web page loads. Remember, you're like, I never used the internet between web page loads. That's how hard up some of us were. We're like, yes, we'll wait between web page loads. I didn't go because everybody was like, it'll change your fucking life. And I was a Jew in a little tiny town, and I had enough evangelical crap thrown at me that as soon as anyone gets evangelical on me, I'm like, no, I will not. So it was only because how cold San Francisco was, I went to Burning Man to get warm. I'm like, I can go out in the middle part where there's no people. I know I can do that. It'll be hot. So I'm going. And I didn't have a bike. Is there anyone who's not been to Burning Man in this room? Oh, God bless you all. Okay, no, I'm going to explain things. And if you're bored that I'm redundant, tell me to move on. People take bikes because it's big and it's hard to get from place to place. You're not allowed to drive anything unless it's covered in fur or glitter or something. Or a lot of vaginas. That's allowed as well. They don't have to be real, you know. So you get there, and I didn't have a bike. I knew everyone had bikes. I had rollerblades. I played on a roller hockey team for Northern California. So I took my rollerblades and I made everybody tow me. So I got towed across the desert. I refused to use the P word that Charlie used earlier. For the same reason I refused to talk about trekking, like in Nepal. Like, it's fucking hiking. Why does it become trekking only in Nepal? If you're walking with your feet one in front of the other, there you go. Tom, I'm a fan of basic factual. I love Tom, first of all. I'm so excited to be in the room with Tom. Yay. Yeah, I highly recommend going and reading his blog. He's incredible. Okay, so I'm getting there. I get pulled across the thing. It's like my first night at Burning Man. I don't really do drugs because I'm kind of weird just like this. I don't really know what would happen if I did something else to it. There's a chance it could go wrong, so why try? Why risk that when I can make it go so weird? Anyway, so I get pulled across. There's a lot of gay guys, and then in the back, there's like 4 kind of women. There's this one woman who's so beautiful, I don't believe she's gay. I'm just being honest. This is myself and my loathing, and now I have to have 25 caveats because it's San Francisco and I've offended 85 people and 45 genders. I don't care. I remember you, San Francisco. Anyway. And I just, she's telling a story about a mystical experience in an outhouse. It doesn't matter because I'm just mesmerized and I'm rollerblading, and everybody's like, you have to go to the roller disco because someone's built a roller disco at Burning Man, of course, and brought tons of rollerblades, but I had my own. So she, said we went on this little march, we stopped at this camp. Burning Man's made up of camps. I'm translating. I'm assuming you're all stuck hearing Burning Man stories, but it's like little pods. Everybody makes their little theme camp. And we went to one called Inspiration Island. And they asked us all to write our biggest question of the universe, or whatever, or to Newton, or whoever we wanted to write it to. And mine was, at that point, how do I make more room, having been told 80,000 times that I was too much for everything. And especially, you know, at companies. I stopped working at companies around that time, I think. Anyway, she answered, I didn't really know her, we'd had this like kind of moment, and she wrote, you don't have to, and which had never occurred to me. It's such a good answer to a question if you have it. Occasionally try, especially if you're a woman, or just insecure. It's not, it might not have been me, it might have been, maybe it's them, and you don't have to. Those are great, like A and B to try, insert those after a question. They sometimes help. So for me, that was like this big moment. And then we went and we roller discoed, and I played hockey very seriously. So I was showing off all my hockeyness and playing, you know, teaching her to backwards skate. And then we slow skated to Make It With You by Brad. It's beautiful, which, trust me, if you've been to Burning Man, you can escape the techno for 80 seconds. It's a miracle. And a random stranger came by, everyone's giving each other gifts. I gave poems because I didn't have any stuff. And he gave me 2 rings, 2 shell rings. I gave her this like ring. And then we walked back and I asked if I could kiss her because I'm so into like literal consent. I'm like, I have a license agreement. Would you like to read that? And that was it. That was it. Until, I mean, boy, I have a lot of other stories about her, but let's just say I went to Burning Man also spontaneously 3 weeks ago. Anyone else just get back? Besides me? Me too? That's it? We're the only people who went? I randomly, it was hard to go. It just sort of worked. Someone gave me a ticket, which was sort of a miracle thing. And I threw my wedding rings in the fire. In a temple fire. Yeah. There's a lot more stories. I think it's gonna be a little show, you guys. It's hard to fit everything that went on with her. But the first date was just like, that was it, you know. It was like, you know, one of those kisses that just feels like it's half an hour. Maybe it was half an hour, and then a lot of people are commenting on it and coming around, and it was like a whole Torah group, you know, and whole commentary. It was great. It was, so that, and then we went horseback riding on the beach when we got back. That was good. So that's my first date. With my soon-to-be ex-wife. My wife in 1 country and 5.5 states. Yeah, I became American. We'll just segue into what comes naturally. So tomorrow's the big America Day. I became American very soon after 9/11 because I was asked to register with the Department of Homeland Security because I'm a really scary Canadian. Excuse me. There's things in the fruit. So Canadians, any other Canadians? Me? I'm it? I'm shocked. Ooh, Jesse? I don't know you're Canadian. Where are you from? Saskatoon. You're like hardcore real Canadian. I barely count compared to you. Saskatoon is like, you've got wind chill factor, there's no trees in the entire province. Amazing. I'm from Niagara Falls, half a kilometer from the US. I grew up right in the border because I'm such a bordery kind of liminal weirdo. And I'd been here a long time, but then it was like register, and then I thought, what if I get arrested? And then I realized I didn't have any rights and stuff, so I'm gonna just become American. I'd had a green card for a long time. Okay, so I naturalized. Did you naturalize? Okay, did anyone take the test? I'm gonna talk about the test. Let's give you the test. Are you a Nazi? Anybody? No? Feminazi? Yeah? You're a Nazi?
Feminazi.
Feminazi. What does that mean?
It means you think women are people.
You what about other people?
It means you think women are people.
You think women are people. Okay. I think we're so much more than people. But yeah. People's a good start. So what else? Are you a habitual drunkard? Look who we are. You barely can be American, you guys. Are you a terrorist?
Fox terrorist.
Yeah. They catch all their terrorists that way. Have you ever committed a crime for which you've not been caught? The intelligence portion of the test. I'm not making these questions up. These are all in the test. And then the English test, the speaking English test is I like blank. Took everything I had not to write pussy in the blank. But I realized I didn't get the First Amendment rights till after, I did the pretend thing. And then they ask you to forswear allegiance to any foreign prince or potentate. Swear to God. And at this point, W was president, and I was like, it is not fair to ask me to say something the president himself cannot even spell. I refuse to do that. So yeah, I'm now part of a very select ethnic group along with Jesse of Canadian Americans. And we basically have a culture of irony and donuts, and that's what we bring to America. Yes, okay, that's how I became American. Now I'm going back and forth a lot. I'm nation fluid, I've decided. I'm starting a whole new section in the Pride Parade next year. Nation fluid, join me. Yes, because the parade, is it still, I didn't get to go the last couple of years. Did you guys, is it still happening? Does it take a month? Okay, when I left San Francisco, the acronym was LGBTIQQ. A, because I do a lot of colleges and they throw the A out at me sometimes because there were no vowels. I was feeling oppressed. They throw something in there. And I always thought they should have FSP for friendly straight people because it's not fair to not have them. You guys know what it is? You all know what it is. It's in San Francisco. It's, I think, redundant to even describe it, right? Whatever, lesbian, gay, blah, bisexual, transgender, intersex, queer, questioning, asexual. There's a whole group. In the parade, there's the A's. And I say T for tired, because by the time you're done, we'll to fucking this is how the parade got to be 8 hours long. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna now start having a halftime. And straight men will come out and play football for us. Okay, so Anne-Laure, you were requesting, we can make some choices, like secret honey cake recipe. I'm gonna do some from Cookie, why not? Because I'm here and I'm excited. Oh God, I'm working on a bit about dudes. How come to get a chick to go near your penis, you call it a job? Just thought I'd share early joke notion. Job, we don't have any job slang, do we? For like touching pussy? I don't think we have a job joke. You need to do a job on me. No, I don't know. Someone work on that. Okay, so there's honey cake, like secret competitive baking, and first kiss with a boy, first kiss with a girl. I can only do one time for one story. Or the chick who owns the school dance. You can pick one of those. Okay, here we go. So you have to just imagine the 80s music because I don't have like a soundtrack ready, but wow, that's amazing. You guys are so participatory. I love it. So I grew up, as we established, in Niagara Falls, which is like I was this weird little queer red-headed Jewish chick in a working class mafioso or in tourist town, and I was trying to engage my classmates in important conversation about big topics like nuclear war and politics, and they were trying to talk to me about Mork and Mindy. I was, a 35-year-old mind and an 11-year-old body, and everybody else's body was growing, and mine was getting smaller somehow, and so I just kind of retreated inside my head, and I lived there. I was, I had no breasts, I had no hips, I never kissed anyone, never held anyone's hand. Hello, adolescence. And as if adolescence didn't suck enough on its own, because just trying to get through the school day was an accomplishment. Because our teachers were fucking insane. Jizz guzzling. What were the rest of those? They fucking were, okay? First of all, like my shop teacher, Mr. Sassy, he was a science teacher. Before he was a science teacher, he was a shop teacher. Before he was a shop teacher, he was a guard at the penitentiary. And he made the little stools, pieces of furniture we had to sit on in class, but they only had one leg. And so if you got really mad, he'd come around, he'd kick them out from under you. He'd be, don't eyeball me, Van Weingart. And he'd pick him up and put him on a hook in the locker, just hang him there in the middle of class. It was terrifying. And then I had Mrs. Parkhurst, who was my home ec teacher, who looked like Divine, with eyebrows shaved off and drawn in, surprised. Just be like, I'm hungry, make me some food. And we'd run around, people would cook pancakes and throw them on the ceiling and see them stick. And then she'd be like, I got too big, make me some new clothes. Then we'd have to try and sew shit for her. And anyway, life was so miserable for me. I got stuck let's skip that. I'm trying to make this work with Charlie's time frame. Now consideration. Okay, I'm editing on the fly here. So then Mrs. Parkhurst here's the thing, I had to go to the hospital because I was like a miserable adolescent nerd. Come on, you guys, City of Rejection, San Francisco, you know me, right?
Yes!
This is a town of people comprised of everyone who stood against the wall at a high school dance. That is the population of this town. And we fucking rule. So I was so nervous, I just got sick and I had to go to the hospital, and I got these letters from girls in my class on flowered notepaper saying that everyone missed me and that Mrs. Parkhurst told them to write me. And that they'd taken up a collection to buy me a book because I was so weird and I liked to read books. But I never got it. So Mrs. Parkhurst kept the money. And you have to hand it to her for a home ec teacher. She was so opportunistic. She was, and she would even chaperone at our dances for a little extra scratch. And these dances were bizarre things you have to imagine. What song do I have now? There's Journey in here long ago. Here's the thing. Dancing, nobody really knew how to dance fast. It was confusing, and slow was uncomfortable, and everything else was in between. It was the music of our time was like Stairway to Heaven. That was a really popular song, which was confusing. It sounded like a slow song. We do the Frankenstein, dance, real slow. And in the middle, the guitar starts really fast, and people just kind of move away from each other, confused. By the end, there's no one there dancing, and it was uncomfortable. Nobody liked being there. But there was this one girl, the girl who I did eat lunch with for 2 weeks in grade 7, who was allowed to sit, someone who would sit near me. And her name was Mindy Veen, and she had committed the sin of being fat, according to our peers. And she had this kind of scraggly hair to her chin, and she wore Dr. Scholl's sandals, and she kind of kept to herself. But one day at the dance, they played this new song, because the 80s began, it was 1981. They played this new song, and it wasn't fast, and it wasn't slow. It was by Queen, and it was this weird middle tempo. Bum, bum, bum. Another one bites dust, and nobody knows what to do. And Mindy walks into the middle of the floor, which is empty, of the gym, kicks off her Dr. Scholl sandals, and has this Billy Elliot Twyla Tharp moment. Bum, bum, bum. Another one bites dust, yeah! Bum, bum, bum. Another bites dust, yeah, another one's got another one's. And we're like, stop! You're grossing us out! You're moving your body! We can't tolerate it. There are teachers near you. You're so making me feel so weird and uncomfortable. But I'm telling you, it got to the point at any dance. Thank you. Let's not break these. It got to the point at any dance where all you had to hear were those first notes. Bum, bum, bum. And the floor would just clear. And Mindy would take her rightful place in the center of the room and lose her mind to Freddie Mercury. Bum, bum, bum. Another one bites dust. Oh my God, don't dance in motorcycle boots. I discovered. I wish I could find her today.
Facebook.
And tell her what a beautiful, brave person I think she is, because it was such a hard time to be yourself, even with all that soft rock. And Mindy was the first person I ever saw, Tom, do it in public. And I think it's the most beautiful thing that you can do. I hope you will all do that, and Come join. I'm gonna do Cookie, I think, here this winter again. So Heather Gold, you can find me all over the internet. And please give a warm, just guzzling welcome if you want that. To Charlie, thank you.